No, but they're one of the breeds, certainly. And the terrier dogs are also well known as barkers. And as we mentioned before, dogs like the Labradors and Basenjis particularly don't tend to bark as often. And
well, Harvey reckons he's got me trained down pat, and I reckon he's right. Michael, great to see you again, and thank you for bringing these gorgeous little ones. I'm so glad there's a happy ending.
Oh, there is, my word.
I tell you, they're very well, and these were barking dogs?
They were, and Mark's done a great job with them.
Well, see, it can be done, and look forward to catching up with you again. By the way, oh, my microphone. Are you huffing and puffing into my microphone, huh? Listen, if you've got any questions about your pets, please email us. And also, next time we're talking about pet obesity, fat dogs. So if you've got a big fat dog or a big fat cat, write to us. Mornings with Kerri Anne, PO Box 9, Willoughby, New South Wales 2068, or email us, morningtalk@9.com.au. Don't forget the stamp, self-addressed envelope if you'd like your photograph of your fat dog or cat sent back to you, because this is so, it's not only fat people in this country, it's fat dogs and cats. Very important. So if you'd like some information, send us in your photographs. We'd love to talk about them next time Michael joins us. Okay, still to come, Mike Moore cooking, talking food, a fabulous Winter's Day roast, so stay with us.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Television's ultimate suspense thriller
Is it yes or no?
is about to take the biggest turn
Locking you down.
of the entire year.
You're under arrest.
Only 2 hours to go. 24 Monday.
What's hot in mobile phone communications? See the specialists at Hutchison's Communication Centre and ask them about zero upfront phones. What's hot in digital images? Snap it then send it as an MMS with text. And as for what's hot in cameras, see your Telstra Mobile Net Premium dealer and reward your loyalty with lucky buys at
Hutchison's Communication Centre, where the ones trust for the best communications. Talk to us.
Rush into Inside Story for their massive stock clearance sale and save. Selected laces and boils an incredible $5 and $10 per metre. Children's and nursery prints are low $10 per metre. All wallpaper borders in stock slashed to half price. Print, jacquard and tapestry fabrics just $5, $10 and $20 per metre. And selected cushions from $15. Plus, ask about our new home deals from just $2,500 for tracks and blockout curtains. Save at Inside Story's massive stock clearance sale now on.
Get more for less at UFS.
You just can't beat the good old-fashioned friendly service at UFS Chemist. Now bigger, better and brighter. Membership benefits offer excellent value, saving you 20% on all items. It's the excellent value, fantastic service and friendly smiles that keep people coming back.
You get more for less at UFS. The chemist for your family.
Where's the home for bargains?
Where's the home for great prices?
Where's the home to go so?
For a toolbox full of surprises.
Where?
Home Hardware. There's stacks of store-wide savings at our Stock Take Dog-a-Log sale. This Martech fan heater is just $18.95 and these head shears or loppers just $9.95 each. The Stock Take Dog-a-Log sale. Home Hardware.
If you're a homeowner, you'd be excited that your property has increased in value by so much over the last few years. But you don't have to sell to reap the benefits. You can borrow against the equity in your home and buy an investment property. With a well-structured plan, your investment will just about look after itself, which will help secure your future in bricks and mortar. For expert advice on investment properties, call Andrews Oval Home Loans, servicing the entire southeast.
What if you phoned a friend and no one was home?
Would you please leave your message and I'll get back to you when I can?
It pays to stay home. Millionaire Monday.
Tonight, is this the moment that will change their lives forever? Or just more footy show shenanigans?
A forming act of clown.
The boys are back, 9:30 tonight.
More great prizes to be won on today's wheel. Take the chill out of winter with Linda Electric Blankets. 100% wool pile fitted blankets with detachable digital controllers and durable sleepy suit tie-down blankets. Sleep wonderfully warm with Linda. Available in Australia for the first time, the latest range of prestige vanities by Cartier. Designed in Europe, the Cartier range of vitreous china will not stain, scratch or wear. Quality bathroom products with a Cartier Care 10-year guarantee.
You might not have heard the name OzClean Asia Pacific, but you would have heard of its brands. They're the quiet achievers who are making a big splash in the household cleaner market. OzClean is the proud maker of Shower Power, a product no Australian bathroom should be without. It is a Queensland-based company located between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. The company is 100% Australian-owned and operated by two Queensland families, the Herons and the Quins. OzClean exports its quality products to supermarkets around the world and has won countless awards for their enviable business achievements. Just recently, in fact, the Australian-British Chamber of Commerce awarded them with the prestigious prize for export excellence. One of the family members of OzClean, Greer Quinn, has joined us in the studio today to tell us a bit more about the company and about their great products too. G'day, Greer.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, thanks. Hey, now tell me, what inspired you guys to produce a product like Shower Power?
Well, firstly, we conducted a survey which revealed Australians hated cleaning the bathroom more than any other room in the house.
That's a good survey to do.
And that they were dissatisfied with all other products on the market. So we spent 2.5 years conducting research to develop a product that was considered a technological breakthrough. The final result was Shower Power.
Fantastic.
A product more effective than anything else on the market, but
Wow.
still environmentally friendly. So it doesn't contain any harsh chemicals like phosphates, ammonia or chlorine.
That's great. So for people who suffer with allergies, that is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what are some of the common things people say about Shower Power?
Well, customers like it because it has a pleasant citrus fragrance and it doesn't require scrubbing. You simply squirt it onto the surface, spread with a cloth and rinse off.
That sounds easy.
And it leaves a protective film, so the shower stays cleaner longer and it cuts down cleaning time by at least 1/3. Shower Power comes in a fresh pine fragrance as well, and because there's no noxious fumes, you can clean the shower while you're in it, which is a great way to save water.
Gee, I could even use that. Not really. No. Yeah, I could. I'd give it a go for sure. Hey, tell me, did you ever think it would become as popular as it has become?
No, we never expected to beat giant international companies
huge.
at their own
Amazing.
game. Shower Power became Australia's #1 selling household product in September 1997, and amazingly, we've maintained our position ever since.
Fantastic. Tell me, you brought some other products in too. What have you got?
We only ever bring out products when we're absolutely convinced that they are unique and superior to anything else on the market. Our latest invention is Carpet Power.
Carpet Power. We're looking at that there, yeah.
It comes in a lavender fragrance and you simply squirt it onto the surface and press firmly with a sponge. It removes stains and odours from carpets, upholstery, fabrics and clothing.
Great.
And unlike anything else, it actually removes and eliminates the odour rather than just covering it up.
That's very good. What else have we got down here?
Our Carpet Power is also the only product that has the approval of the Wool Safe organisation.
Ah, great.
Which means it's 100% safe to use on wool.
Fantastic.
We also sell a product called Shower Power Mate, which complements Shower Power. It has a removable sponge, so you can replace the sponge when it wears out, and the sponge is non-scratch, so you can use it on any surface.
Fantastic.
What else? We also sell a product called Shower Power Wipes, and they're a very convenient and effective way to clean.
I saw those. I think they look fantastic too. Now, you guys have received literally thousands of letters over the last 6 years, isn't it, of people raving about your products, and you actually use as your advertising slogan something that somebody included in a letter. What is it again?
Shock Shower Power actually works.
That is great. It's so quirky, but it's so true, and I know a lot of people would think that. Shock, it actually works. Now, if you want to get your hands on Shower Power, this is how you do it. You jump into your local supermarket or give them a call, 1800 688 700. Jump onto the website, ozclean.com.
This week on Destinations, we're heading to New Zealand, and with Grand Pacific Tours, we're going on a fantastic coach holiday. Come and join me.
Enjoy the best the Kiwis have to offer. Destinations with Scott McRae, 5:30 Saturday on Win.
Book City mid-year clearance sale, sport and health books from $4.95. Gardening and cooking books, out they go at crazy prices. Kids books for under $10. Stacks of hardback fiction books at $4.95 each. Hurry into Book City while stocks last.
You lay
so easy.
Beautiful music, beautiful songs. Paul McLeod in concert, appearing at these venues.
Gonna be alright.
Capital Corp Financial Services. We're one of Australia's largest finance brokerage firms with branches conveniently located throughout the nation. We are fully Australian owned and have the professionalism, contacts and service to quickly source finance packages structured to meet your personal and business needs. We provide the easiest and most flexible solutions possible for personal finance, and our commercial finance specialists offer an extensive range of business products. See us first to pre-approve your next purchase. Capital Corp Finance Services, 10 Bay Road, Mount Gambier.
Wouldn't it be nice if the world was cat-free, shot with roads and trees and birds and bees, delivering all kinds of letters daily, every kind of purple parcel too. And if the dog did try and grab a mouthful, you can bite him back, he'll taste delightful. Wouldn't it be nice?
Where's the home for bargains?
Where's the home for great prices?
Where's the home to go so?
For a toolbox full of surprises.
Where?
Home Hardware. There's stacks of store-wide savings at our stock take dog-a-log sale. This GMC 4-pack is only $99, and this 3-piece saw set just $12.95. The stock take dog-a-log sale. Home Hardware.
You wanna give the job your best, you've got the chance. However big or small the task, you've got the chance. For chainsaws and mowers, brush cutters too, at Chance Sales and Service, we're always there for you. From the forest to the farm or in your own backyard, you know you can count on Chance, yeah, yeah. You know you can count on Chance.
Does the face of an angel
He's not to blame.
hide a tiny terror?
Now, good boy.
Suspended not once, not twice,
Kicking, scratching, punching.
but 30 times.
I hit the teachers.
On today's wheel, the Star Shots experience is one you'll never forget. Feel like a movie star with makeup artists, hairdressers and photographers all dedicating their skills to making you look your best. With over a dozen studios around Australia, your Star Shots photo session will be fun and memorable. Vacuum better and breathe better with Nilfisk. The Nilfisk King range features a filtration system for optimum protection against dust-causing allergies. Perfect for homes and deep pile carpeting and pets, the Nilfisk King has everything. Does everything.
Take off your clothes and come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Mornings with Kerri Anne and Sony are giving you the chance to win a PlayStation 2 Ultimate Home Entertainment System worth almost $20,000. On the state-of-the-art system, you can play games, DVDs, music CDs, and later this year, online games. You're going to get a Sony 42-inch plasma TV, a Sony surround sound system, a PlayStation 2, 30 games, 30 Sony music CDs, including Delta Goodrum's Innocent Eyes, and 30 Columbia TriStar DVD movies, including Charlie's Angels. And for runners-up, there are 10 PlayStation 2 packs worth $700 each. And one of the latest games, iToy Play, is part of the package. The iToy features 12 easy-to-play games, and the great thing is it allows you to play via a special camera. You don't need a controller. It's all done with hand and body movement. So to register, just call 1902 553 129 or SMS 188 1129. Just answer a very simple question. Here it is. What is the new PlayStation 2 game that allows you to become part of the game without the need of a controller? A, Gran Turismo. B, iToy Play. C, War of the Monsters. Call as many times as you like. The winner's going to be announced on the show Monday, the 4th of August. Good luck to you.
Take off your clothes and come on in. Take off your clothes.
fantastic prize. We had such fun doing that, you know, head-butting it and all. It was just wonderful stuff. Get on the phones right now and you can call as many times as you like. Well, we're on to a very, very different subject right now. Debt collectors' tactics have sparked a huge surge in complaints, with victims complaining they've been harassed at work, physically threatened, even subjected to bogus claims. To tell us more this morning, from our Canberra Bureau, David Tennant, who's the chairman of the Consumers Federation of Australia. David, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kerri Anne.
David, how big has the increase in complaints been?
Well, it's certainly been significant. It's my understanding that the ACCC has reported about a doubling in the number of complaints over the last financial year compared to the previous year, and that's something that concerns the agencies that are members of the Consumers Federation.
Now, why do you think that is?
We think there are a number of changes that have happened in debt collection in recent years, but perhaps most significant is that the ACCC has produced a guideline that helps to describe better what the acceptable levels of collection activity are in comparison to things that might cross the line. And obviously the better you get at defining what activity might breach the law, then the more likely it is that people will be alert to and aware of those things. But from our perspective as service agencies, we think it's got a lot to do with how debt collection is done these days.
Well, could you give me some examples of how people have crossed the line?
Well, there are lots of ways that you can collect debts that are fair and reasonable, and they include things like telephone contact, even sometimes personal contact. But the types of things that do cross the line are where you might make threats of physical violence or threats of actions that simply aren't available to you, pretending to be someone other than you are, for example, saying that you're a lawyer or a court officer. They're the sorts of things that, frankly, people, if they were behaving in a common sense way, would probably be able to see aren't exactly the sorts of ways you should be approaching people.
I understand there's been some bogus claims, just incorrect information. How big a complaint area is this?
Well, certainly since we've seen larger debt collection companies doing the work on behalf of, say, banks or finance companies or telecommunications providers, that sort of claim has increased significantly. I think the reason for it is that the people who sold the service in the first instance no longer have control or carriage of the collection activity. And so when people are ringing up and making inquiries or complaints about what's being alleged against them, they're dealing with somebody that they didn't previously have any contact with. And those people either don't have enough information to answer the questions or don't pay enough attention to getting that information and answering the concerns.
Well, David, in view of some of the bogus claims online, we've got a lady by the name of Paulette Curry, and her story, just briefly, is Pauline paid a $75 fine some 15 years ago, in fact 1992, when her dog bit a guy. She received another fine more recently for $125. She apparently paid that fine all those years ago, and of course is now subject to this debt recovery again. Paulette joins me on the line. Welcome, Paulette. After telling these people you'd already paid the fine, what happened?
Well, they told me to send a state declaration into them, which I did, and I rang up last Monday. I said to them, did you receive it? They said it's not on the computer yet. They told me to ring back on Wednesday of last week. I rang back on Wednesday. No, we've got nothing online that we've received it. I said, well, someone's not doing their jobs right. So he turned around, he said, hang on for a minute. So he went to have a look. He said, yes, we did get it. And I said, well, when do I find out the final solution? He said, I'll ring us back Friday. I said, Friday this week? He said, no, Friday week. I thought that's the day before it's supposed to be paid. So now I've got to wait until Friday.
Paulette, how do you remember the fact that you actually paid the fine? It was a long time ago.
Because we paid it off instalments.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time I had one small child and one older child, and when you're only on a limited amount of wage, you just got to arrange to do these things to just pay it off.
Mm-hmm. And of course they had no record. It must be fairly terrifying having someone tell you that you owe more money for something you've already done. Was there any suggestion of a threat?
No, there's been no threats or anything, no. Only on the back of it that it'd say that if you don't pay it, that they take your licence and stop you from driving that, but I don't even have a car.
So, you know, it's just a battle of bureaucracy for you, Paulette.
Yes.
Listen, thank you very much for your story this morning. We do appreciate it, Paulette Corey joining us. Now, David, you heard that. When something like that happens to Paulette, she remembers distinctly paying it, but she's battling bureaucracy. What can she do?
Well, in that sort of situation, Kerri Anne, you're talking about the state collecting fines or debts that it says is owed to it. And I understand Paulette's story is part of the State Debt Recovery Office being directed as a result of an Auditor-General report in New South Wales to go out and collect lots of old debts. I think it might be as much as $29 million in total. I think where they're as older debts as Paulette's just described, it's disappointing that that there isn't a process other than this one that requires the production of a statutory declaration. We've in fact had some conversations with the State Debt Recovery Office, and I'd be hoping that we could come up with a process that was better where you're talking about matters so old.
Well, David, now you are the consumer watchdog for people who feel as if they've been treated badly by debt collectors or should not have even been spoken to. But on the other hand, you've got a lot of businesses who feel as if they've been treated badly through bad debts. So what's the medium line? Who looks after those companies?
Look, I think you raise a really important point. The things that we're talking about have nothing to do with saying it's okay to not pay for the goods or services that you purchase. In fact, that's one of the responsibilities as a consumer, to make sure that where you do buy something or borrow money, that you pay for that service. But we're talking about situations where very, very old debts or debts that you might have in fact paid are then being collected many years later.
Well, David, if you could just give me an idea now, as we wrap it up, what don't we have to put up with even if there is a bad debt there? What shouldn't we have to put up with?
Well, you shouldn't have to ever put up with any threat or intimidation that might involve physical violence, or people saying we're going to come to your house and take your goods or furniture or your children. Those are the types of threats we sometimes hear. If you get any of that sort of threat or allegation, contact the ACCC, contact a financial counselling agency or a community legal centre and make a complaint.
Excellent. Well, David, we do appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Kerri Anne.
David Tennant, who is the chairman of the Consumers Federation of Australia. Okay, a lot more coming up on Mornings. In fact, we're cooking with Mike Moore. It is a scrumptious winter pork roast.
You want it, here it is. Come and get it. Put it better.
Sunday. It's a renovator's battleground.
I'm trying to do something to my unit.
No one's even listening.
I'm discussing.
But which couple will come off the winners?
No way.
With a wow factor. The Block, 6:30 Sunday on Win.
When you want to capture those special moments with the grandchildren or your baby's first steps, reach for the Sony Handycam. As on Hi-Fi present the new range of Sony digital handycams, making life even easier. With the Sony Handycam, you can take high-quality moving pictures, and at the flick of a switch, you can take a still photo. The Sony TRV33 Handycam is now available with a bonus memory stick, 10 free tapes, a camera care kit, and a carry bag. Plus, we'll give you 10% off all other accessories you purchase at the same time. The Sony Handycam from Ads on Hi-Fi.
Golden crumpets, always there for sharing. I'll never forget the way that they spread all covered in honey. Every day of the week they make a great treat, so good on your tummy. Golden moments filled with love.
I like the way you're wearing your smile and you close your eyes and you leave us for a while. Sweetness to me.
Choose Telstra's new STD option. $1.49 for 20 minutes anytime when you join Homeline Plus.
You mean stuff to me.
Jules Furniture Removalists can move you to Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, Tassie, Darwin and twice weekly to Adelaide. In fact, anywhere countrywide. All you have to do is phone 8725 0688 and leave it to the blokes in the purple trucks.
And you'll find dual self-storage units in 3 convenient locations. Ask them about their White Avenue double security site, the only one of its kind in the country area. So for peace of mind, store it and lock it at Jules.
Whisper rescues animals all over the world. Right now, the animals in war-torn Iraq urgently need you. Please call 1300 13 22 16 with a donation to help us send life-saving vet supplies to our team in Iraq. Without your help, thousands of animals may suffer and die. Together, we can make the world safe for the animals. Phone 1300 13 22 16.
Nothing bad'll happen now.
Sunday. It's a renovator's battleground.
I'm trying to do something to my unit.
No one's even listening.
I'm discussing.
But which couple will come off the winners?
No way.
With a wow factor. The Block, 6:30 Sunday on Win.
Mornings Cooking, brought to you by Medina by IXL, exclusively available at Retrovision.
You know, you can't go wrong with a Sunday roast. It's a cold winter's day. So this morning, our celebrity chef, Michael Moore, is cooking pork rack with lemon mustard, incorporating some really sumptuous seasonal winter fruits. G'day. This is good.
Morning. Good morning.
I love peaches and apricots and pears, dried stuff.
Well, you know, like the traditional roast, everyone sort of goes with the same old garnishes, which work really well. You know, lamb and mint sauce, roast pork and apple sauce, and all those things. But you know, when there's great, especially like we're going to do some cooking with some dried fruits.
Yeah.
Now they're fantastic at the moment, and they just add a little twist to an old classic, really.
Absolutely.
And I think look, a lot of cooking, that's what it's about, really, is just adding a bit of a modern touch or a twist to some of the things we all sort of love and know. You know, so.
Now I've got an email before we go. First up, this is from Beverly in Western Australia. I always find it difficult to get the pork skin to crackle when I cook it. What's the secret? I know.
Go on then.
A blowtorch.
Now, a blowtorch actually won't do it. That's too hot. One of the secrets, I'm going to show you how to do it today anyway, but is to use the heat of the oven to cook the pork and then to get the crackle at the end. People want the pork to go in the oven and get the crackle straight away. It's not going to happen. You've got to get all the fats and everything moving inside the skin of the pork. And also you need to get some salt into there.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I'm doing.
What actually makes the fat crackle?
Well, it's the fat, it's the skin, it's the fat coming out of the skin, almost the skin fries, really.
Okay.
And then it's sort of the pores expand and cause those little bubbles.
Because we love the crackle.
We love those, yeah.
And it's so good for you.
So look, it's not good for you at all, but I'm going to show you how to cut I've got one in the oven, and I'm going to trim it and show you how you can trim it to reduce the calories a bit as well, so you can eat it without feeling too guilty, you know. Okay, so one of the things we're going to do first is very simply, I'm just going to mix here, I'm going to make... This is just some mustard seeds. Now you can grind these in a mortar and pestle first, but we're going to actually grind them after they've roasted. So I've got some. This is just salt, mustard seeds.
That's crystallised salt.
Yeah, that's just like the sort of, you know, the lighter, softer salt, not the really hard stuff. Now if you can grate some lemon into there for me, just have a go with that. I'll cut some of these. That's it. So what we're making here is a lemon salt that we're actually going to season the skin of the...
Just want me to grate my skin into this,
yeah, just be careful. I heard that these things were like a plastic surgeon's knife for grinding bones away. When they first came to the market, I don't know if it's true. But, you know.
God.
There you go, lovely, isn't it, what we get to cook with?
If it works for cellulite. Do you think so?
You haven't got any?
Oh, yeah.
That's good, you see. OK, so what we've got there...
an industrial one.
That's enough, that's plenty. So you get the idea there, that's salt, mustard seeds and the lemon rind, a bit of lemon juice. That just goes into the oven.
Right.
OK. Now we'll come back to that in a moment. Now in the pan here I've got some honey, some sugar and some water, and then just some nice dried fruit. So I've got dried pears. You know, you just sort of poach these away as if you would a fresh fruit. Peaches.
We've got a fact sheet coming up with all these proportions shortly.
Look, and look, there are great dried fruits around, apples, figs, anything like that. So just really go with what you feel like. You know, I've not put any dried apples in here. Prunes here, which my daughter loves very much after this weekend.
Did you practice this weekend?
Yeah, I made some already because this takes a little while to cook. It takes an hour or two to cook.
Oh, all these, do they?
Yeah, so what you've got there is you can see that's just sort of poaching away, you see?
Oh,
and then what you end up with, very easily, is this lovely sort of syrupy sort of thing, right?
We got a camera. Where's that one?
Well, we got a camera. We've got a few.
There you go.
Bit of lemon zest
So
in
this
there as
takes
well.
what I'm pushing here. This takes 2.5 hours.
Yeah. No, it'll take about. Don't push it too much. It'll take about. Or how long? About 40 minutes.
Okay.
So just too long for us to do today. But you can get the idea. Now this also makes a fantastic breakfast thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic with sheep's yogurt and anything like that. So
Lovely.
really nice. Okay. So we'll just pass that to the side and we'll go back to our salt.
How do you know when it's done?
Well, it's tender and all puffed up. You see, it's
Okay.
like the pears are almost like a fresh pear. They just rehydrate.
Okay.
So this was some salt that I did earlier.
That's what we just put in the oven.
That's what we
And
just-
how long do you put this in the oven
This
for?
takes about 25 minutes. Looks a bit ugly at the moment, but there you go. Now, if you'd like to grind that up for me.
Oh, okay.
Then we've got our rack of pork here, or our piece of pork, which can be anything really.
Hey,
It can be a shoulder.
Okay, if you go to the butcher and say, I want a rack of
Look, I'm a chef and I cheated. I got a rack of pork and I even got him to score the skin for me.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Can you tell a good one or one that's going to
Look,
be tough?
I think you want to go small. Don't go for a really big piece of pork. Unless you go for a leg or a shoulder, that takes a couple of hours to cook. So for this only takes 45 minutes to cook.
Okay.
Okay, so once you've got the salt there, you can see
So
that
if you've got 8
grinds
people
down.
for dinner, do you do a couple of those
I reckon go
or a
for
bigger one?
Yeah, I'd say one bone per person.
Okay.
That's why I like to go for a rack, because it looks really nice as well. So again there, what we do is we just put the salt. Now this needs to be ground up a bit more.
Is that enough, 1 bone per person?
Yeah, they're quite big. So what we do there, I'm just going to rush this along.
You've cooked at these fancy restaurants where you get minuscule portions.
Minuscule portions. Okay, so you get the idea. You put the salt onto the pork. You put the salt onto the pork, and then what you let that sit. You must let that sit now for about 20 minutes before you put it in the oven.
Okay.
Put it in a medium oven. Let it cook 35 minutes. Turn the oven up hot, and that's when your crackle comes
Right
from.
at the end.
Now shut your eyes.
Okay.
Because this is what it comes out like. Ta-da!
Oh, we
So there
love
you
that.
go.
Ooh.
That is the real thing there.
Look at this.
So that's so.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I couldn't come here today and do a roast without bringing some roast potatoes.
Love it. What sort of potatoes do you use?
They're just Desiree potatoes, but they've been blanched. They've been blanched for a little while in the in boiling water.
Okay, how long? You just blanch them?
Just bring them to the boil.
Soft?
Yeah.
Now, so
Now
again, just that stuff there, you've got to let it soak
Yeah.
in for 20 minutes.
So that will soak, and then you just put that into the oven. This one's been tied up. There's a bit of string there. Now you can see there's a bit of fat on there. Now, what you can do is you can run the knife around the edge of the crackle
And you can
and
just
take
eat
the
it like
crackle
that.
off.
Ah.
There you go. There you go. So you can see there, I've still got the string on the crackle. How good's that? There you go.
It's absolutely sensational.
You can make a bracelet out of this, couldn't you? Oh, it's very nice too. So there you go. So there's your crackle. Now, you see there's the fat on there. Scrape this out. You can feel less guilty then. You can feel. So then you've just got the skin. Go back to your rack of pork. Trim that layer of fat off. Right. That's gone. And then you just can cut in it there.
Wow.
So you see how now you're starting to remove some of the fat and the calories, if you like, out of it.
What cut of pork is that?
That's the rack. That
The
runs.
rack.
That's that bit there.
Okay,
runs
before-
right down there.
The where? Sorry.
Right down there.
Oh, okay. Now we've got that. Now, before we get to this lovely presentation, as you always do, there's a couple of emails we got.
Yeah.
Because you've got to do the fruit thing with it, right?
I'm going to do that.
Okay,
You,
email number 1. This is from Jay Chamberlain. Now, before my now husband and I got married, we were trying desperately to impress each other. And on this one particular night, he thought we could try making our own spring rolls. Now, it was all okay until he placed one into a very overheated pot filled with oil. The oil overspill caused a fire. We never attempted to make spring rolls again. And that night, we all enjoyed pizza. Boom,
okay,
boom.
the main thing, whenever you're deep frying, never overfill your pan or your fryer more than really 2/3 or even in between 1/3 and 2/3, say halfway with oil. Never fill it up like you would a pot of water.
Okay.
So, because whenever you put anything into it, it will always expand.
Okay.
So that could have been really dangerous.
Yes.
Fire in the kitchen, insurance
ever been
claims.
burnt?
And I've had some really bad burns. One time I slipped up and put my arm on the cooker and just really like fried the whole of my arm there. It was.
Would you stick it in the freezer or something right
Do you know what? Actually, the chef, he made me put a towel around it like that, stick it in hot, cold water and keep working and wouldn't let me go to the doctor till after lunch. Oh, it's a hard life, isn't it?
It's very sad. Hey, while you're doing that, so
I'll do this. I'll just put these on here.
Okay, now we've got another one here, by the way. This is email number 2, and this is from Robert Hutton. I thought a roast lamb and vegetables would be the easiest. After receiving instructions over the phone, decided to open a bottle of wine and boost my confidence. Regrettably, the cooking oil in the dishwasher... The cooking oil on the dish, I like this, man. Dishwashing liquid were similar containers and identical in colour. It was when I noticed that the vegetables were not browning, that there was a huge and large quantity of bubbles in the baking tray. I realised things weren't going to plan. I'd forgotten about this incident until one of the couples who I'd not seen for 30 years knocked on my door with a bottle of wine and a bottle of dishwashing liquid singing, "I'm forever blowing bubbles." Robert Hutton.
Chemicals in the kitchen, be careful.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've seen people drink bleach. There was a waitress who poured some bleach into a glass, and the chef, it was his girlfriend, and thought, that's her glass of apple juice, and he picked it up, took a swig.
Oh,
but
I didn't...
his head went like a balloon. Anyway, back to the pork.
Yeah,
okay, now just quickly, there you go. There is the classic roast dinner. Lovely roast potatoes. Now, I've got to tell a little story. This plate is from the famous chef Gordon Ramsay. That's his restaurant in London, Aubergine, that he used to run. And I was there having dinner, and I said, cool, I love these plates, so he just gave me one.
Oh.
So I thought that'd be nice today to cook a bit of, you know, roast pork and potatoes.
That is divine. And
So
all
there
those
you go.
other goody.
Well, that's the thing. Pick the fruit you like. Lovely roast potatoes. Oh, we didn't put any crackle on. There we go.
Oh, yeah. No, that crackle's mine. That's what I was eating. Thank
Right,
you very
now,
much.
who's gonna
Can't
fight-
get my
who's gonna
crackle.
fight the crew?
Fact sheet, 1902 211 911. This is why we're keeping this going as long as possible, so I get as much crackling as I need. If you've got a cooking question, send it to Michael, morningtalk@9.com.au, or you can write to us mornings with Kerri Anne, PO Box 9, Willoughby 2068. Fantastic, this crackling and the, oh, yum, yum, yum. I know it's a bit early, sort of
early, but
morning
smells good
tea,
as
but
well,
anyway,
doesn't
Michael Moore, see you next time.
See you next
Okay,
week.
yeah, we've got a lot more after the break. Stay with us.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my...
Hey kids, we've got more great holiday movie entertainment on the way.
I am Kazam!
Weekdays at noon, here on Win.
That's marvellous.
If you want to keep your home warm this winter, you can't go past these Insulco fat bats because, like me, they're built for comfort. And remember, Insulco fat bats, the fatter the bat, the better.
Barry Mac, your locally owned retrovision store.
Innovative small household appliances from Morphy Richards, available from Barry Mac Electrical. Stylish and functional cordless kettles and jugs for that perfect cup of coffee or tea. 2 and 4 slice toasters for toast cooked just the way you like it. Practical, easy to use comfy grip irons make light work of the toughest creases.
Barry Mac retrovision, where top brands cost less.
When your hair shines, you want to set it free. Palmolive Natural Shampoo and Conditioner leaves hair 5 times stronger and 3 times smoother. New Palmolive Naturals, for hair that shines with life.
Things were lonely after the kids had left and Bob still had his job. It started out just filling in time, but it became almost every day. Then I forgot about Sarah's special person's day at a kindy. I mean, how could I get so caught up? It wasn't until I got home that I realised what I'd done. It all came out. The bills,
Have your electricity cut off.
Coming into this house and making a scene in front of your father.
It was
even how I'd used our savings.
You weren't there, Mum. What happened? Where
And the
were
biggest
you?
loss was Bob and Robin's
We're
trust.
not going to see her again until you get things sorted out.
Well, that call was the first step. Oh, Bev's been such a big help. And Robin's even bringing little Sarah over next weekend. Then do something about it because I was going to...
Think of what you're really gambling with. Call the Gambling Helpline on 1800 060 757.
Are you ready for a fitness and fundraising challenge that could take you to the top of the world? When you raise funds to help the Fred Hollows Foundation, you can be rewarded with an adventure holiday to Nepal, Vietnam or Outback Australia. And you'll be helping to restore sight to people who are needlessly blind. To learn more about the See the World Challenge, phone the Fred Hollows Foundation on 1800 352 352 or visit www.hollows.org.
Tonight, a premiere special.
A place where winter never comes.
The ultimate in sun.
Your own private paradise.
Getaway to pure summer
bliss.
Getaway holidays in the sun.
7:30 tonight on Win.
Welcome back. Well, Hollywood heavyweight and former Mr. Olympia Arnie Schwarzenegger has made quite a name for himself through his action movies and coining the phrase, "I'll be back." Well, the National Rugby League really scored quite a coup when he was recruited to promote the current State of Origin series. I tell you, it was an amazing coup getting Arnie Schwarzenegger to do those commercials. Well, his new movie, Terminator 3, is the latest in a long career that started as an unknown Austrian bodybuilder. He gave an exclusive interview to ABC America's Diane Sawyer. Here's some of that interview.
After 12 years, he promised he'd be back. He is back. It's no longer hasta la vista. The Terminator is back in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. It opens nationwide on July 2nd. And in this chapter of the apocalyptic tale of the Terminator, Arnold is sent back to help save the Earth once again. And from what we hear, he might also be called by Republicans to do some saving there in California. And it's great to have you with us this morning.
Well, thank you very much.
Really good to see you. All right, I'm going to get to the Terminator, which is a mouth-dropping movie, no kidding. But I got to ask about all these reports. You said, I would love to be governor of California. In fact, if there is a recall, and we know for everybody out there who hasn't been following it, there is a recall petition movement under the way against the governor, could be this fall. If there is if there's a recall, will you run?
Well, this is the wrong movie. Running Man, the sequel to The Running Man, we're going to promote the next time. Right now, I'm just promoting Terminator. But it was a good try.
Yeah.
It was a very good try, yeah. Now, I think that the recall is going to happen. There's no two ways about that. And I think that they have almost all the signatures, and the people are really, all scrambling in California right now to make sure that they get the signatures, because they're very dissatisfied with the state that our state is in and with the governor. And, but they're working very hard at that. I'm staying out of it at this point.
But you have made it clear.
I'm just thinking about the movie right now. You always have to stay on message. That's the most important thing in a political arena, and also when you promote a movie. It's Terminator, 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 Terminator.
But I promised.
Go see it, July 2nd. I'll be back.
I promised everybody that I was going to arm wrestle you.
I will make you win. You see? There you have it. Okay, so now we can go to Terminator.
But you were serious in what you said. You were just doing this
and
to...
of course I'm so serious about those things. Yes, yes.
Okay, is Maria in favor? Maria Shriver?
Call her. I can speak for her. You call her. As a matter of fact, that would be a great interview. You have Maria on here, both of you wearing the Terminator jacket and the sunglasses, and promote Terminator, and then you can ask her this question.
Do you want to talk about Terminator?
I think it would be a great idea.
I guess I will. First of all, I got to talk about this chase scene at the beginning. I was asking you how long it lasts. It seems to me the longest one I've ever seen, the car scene. It's not like, it's a crane, actually. Eventually, it levels a whole series of blocks there. How long?
They say it's the biggest car chase scene and the most dramatic car chase scene ever done, ever filmed, and ever seen. And we filmed it for around 2 months, this scene, on and off, and it was like really unbelievable. And stunt-wise, it was the most challenging thing to do, is to hang on that hook continuously, to be taken through buildings and walls, especially when they tell you that it's a giveaway walls, that will give, then all of a sudden it's not, and you smack into it with 20 miles an hour. So, I've had several accidents doing those scenes.
You tore a rotator cuff.
Yes, yeah, totally tore it, and had to have surgery 4 months ago, and I'm still in rehab because of it. So there was, when you do a film like that, there's that much action, and especially when you have the new visual effects, you push the whole thing to the limit. And of course, I am a very physical person, so I try a lot of the things. When there's a new stunt and a new idea coming, I want to jump in there and do it, and sometimes you get injured.
14 cameras for a 100-ton crane there. What a scene it is. But something else is pretty miraculous. You were 34 when you made the first Terminator, right? Now 55. Exactly the same shape you were in when you were 34?
Or this was probably the most challenging thing for me to do on this film, because I realized before we started doing the film that, wait a minute, I have to be in the same shape as I was in the first and the second Terminator. So I had to start training again, 2-3 hours a day. I went back to the gym, because usually I work out at home. So I went back to the gym, trained with the big animals, with the big bodybuilders that are still competing, and I got myself in really good shape. It was tough. It was really tough. The body takes longer now to recuperate. Lifting the heavy weights but the body still responds the same way. This is the great thing about it. The muscles have a memory, so the muscles come right back. You just have to make sure that you eat right, get all your protein intake, and also that you train 2-3 hours a day, and also do your cardiovascular training.
Anything you can't do now that you could do when you were 34?
I don't lift as heavy anymore than when I was 34, because it is not necessary. Because only when you want to gain weight and gain muscle size, you need to train that hard. For me, it's much more important to continue doing the cardiovascular training and all this.
Well, I want to just Arnie Schwarzenegger, I just think he's fantastic. Great interview from Diane Sawyer there. It's good to see him keeping fit at whatever age. Okay, still to come on mornings, we spin the wheel.
Watch a horror movie right there on my TV. Horror movie right there on...
Want to see a neat trick? Now that's got you curious. We've got plenty more. Plus, find out how you can win a video camera. Funniest home videos.
6:30 Saturday on Win.
There is a drink that's new in town, as natural as the sun. The choice is clear, Sunraysia is here, and I'm gonna have me one. So mothers, tell your children to drink the natural one. Sunraysia for me, nothing added, you'll see. It's the drink with the smiling sun. It's the drink with the smiling sun.
So fresh, the hits of winter. The biggest hits. The freshest hits. Get So Fresh out Monday, June 30.
When disaster hits, call Richards Crash Repairs. Talk to Peter or Judy Richards and they'll get you back on the road fast. Their fully equipped workshop and professional staff will ensure the highest quality panel repairs. Offering the latest in painting technology, together with a spray and bake oven, your car will be looking like new. 20 years experience and approved by the RAA and MTA. The first choice for your crash repairs should be the best of the best. Richards Crash Repairs, next to Templeton's.
Adelaide's two big teams are bringing you one big offer. Yes, right now at Radio Rentals and HomeCo, you can bring it home interest-free. Save on TVs, DVDs and computers and pay no interest till 2006. Save on dining settings, lounges and recliners and pay no interest until 2006. Save on washers and fridges and pay no interest till 2006. Save on beds and bedding and pay no interest until 2006. But only at Radio Rentals and HomeCo. Now that's twice as big.
The #1 Australian drama, all new Blue Healers.
Wednesday.
Tonight on ER's 200th episode.
Hey, over here!
Everything you know is about to change.
You're going, right?
Nothing's right here.
ER's 200th episode.
Oh, God.
A television event.
8:30 tonight on Win.
Getting fit can always be tough, especially because we're just about in the middle of winter now, aren't we, Kaz? Middle of winter?
Absolutely. It's getting cold, and that's really a deterrent to go out to a gym or do any sort of exercise. You just want to rug up and keep toasty.
Inside and eat fish and chips and chocolate.
Absolutely. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Well, you can do that because we've got the ab swing from Danos Direct. This is an awesome way to work out your midsection. So upper abs, lower abs, or your obliques, you can get it all on the one machine. Now, this is the original ab swing from Danos Direct. It's using swing glide technology. So if you're a beginner, you can just simply sit and glide and off you go. You've got your ab workout. If you're more advanced, then you slide down the seat, and because it is the original ab swing, you've got a nice wide long seat, so it's going to take a lot of size, a lot of shapes and sizes as well for guys, girls, fitness experts.
Great.
And you can simply slide straight down the seat and you really get an intense ab workout, which is great. 2 adjustable hand positions, and you've also got adjustable foot position as well, so if you're a little bit taller, you can use the ab swing as well. It takes up to 110 kilos.
What do you reckon, Mike? You'd be just under 110 though, wouldn't you?
Just under, Jamie, yes. Look, I've got to say that it's a wonder that something so easy to use is so beneficial.
Yeah.
Since I started using it, I've lost 3 notches on my belt.
Fantastic.
And that means that my abs are coming good.
Gee, that's pretty darn good,
It is great.
mate.
And you might be like Mike, who you just need to lose a couple of notches. You might be someone like me who's just had a baby and you're struggling to lose that post-baby weight. Really good for the midsection. That's a really nice area to work as well. And so easy.
Yeah, come on. Does it help your golf game too, Mike?
Doesn't help my score, but it makes it a lot more comfortable playing.
Ah, there you go. Well, that's a good one. Now, Coogee Beach.
It's not just about Mike, and obviously, you know, we've had a lot of people here in the studio using the ab swing, but we tested it at Coogee Beach. And we tested it on people who have never used the ab swing before.
This is interesting.
Not only are they having heaps and heaps of fun, but how easy is it for them to use? Check this out.
We're down at beautiful Coogee Beach. We're here to find out what people have to say about the ab swing.
Such an easy thing to use, but just isolates every muscle in your stomach and just works it.
Oh yeah, it's different to doing a crunch.
It's such a simple thing, but so effective.
It certainly makes a change from the usual ab workouts.
It's certainly a lot more enjoyable than doing sit-ups, so it gets really boring.
The thing I like about it is there's no pressure on the back. In general, sit-ups, I really get back problems, but this is great.
Now, that's just the amateur on the street, but the professionals use this too. Darren Centre.
Absolutely. Captain of the West Tigers, and this is what Darren has to say about the ab swing.
I'm a professional footballer, and core strength is an important part of my training. Using the ab swing, I can isolate my abdominals from the bottom up. The ab swing gives me a great workout, which is enjoyable as well.
Now, Darren wasn't using the headsets, but he could have been.
He could have been, and they're a great personal motivator, in my opinion, because you can listen to your AM/FM stereo headset. That comes with the ab swing. You also get a manual and a video. Now, this is really, really good because it will help you get the most out of your ab swing workout. Remember, this is the original ab swing, the enlarged seat. It's great. You can height adjustable, different hand positions, so comfy, so
and
easy to get.
different fitness levels too.
Absolutely.
That's
Whether
great.
you're super fit or you're just starting out for the very first time, pop onto the phones and call Danos Direct for 3 monthly payments. The ab swing can be yours. 3 monthly payments of $49.98 plus postage and handling. 30-day money-back guaranteed.
You got to love that. I'll give you the phone number in a second, but tell us about the competition.
5 lucky winners, 5 destinations around Australia. All you need to do is purchase a product from Danos Direct and you could be off on one of those holidays. 5 lucky winners this time. Tasmania, Margaret River, Melbourne, Hayman Island, and also Reef and Rainforest in far north Queensland.
Unbelievable, and you can go and show off your abs, as you do. 1-800-808-938 or jump onto the website danos.com.au.
Thank you, Jamie. And this morning we're playing for Tanya De Silva from Hampton Park in Victoria. And you are the winner of our Ream Prize, Tanya. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But I tell you, you've got to be in on the wheel. If you'd like to win every day, just register on 1902 554 626, or you can SMS on 0428 554 626. Have a look at this prize, Tanya.
A Ream Stella reheats 200 litres of hot water per hour. That's more than most households ever need. Australian-made, 5-star efficiency and 10-year warranty. The Ream Stella. It's Remarkable.
That's for Tanya from Hampton. Well, join us tomorrow. Jacqueline McKenzie and Barry Otto talk about their new play, and we explore all things spooky with a paranormal expert. But before we leave you, see if you remember this girl I interviewed in 1996. Yes, of course, Leanne Rimes. She was only 14 years old. Now, did you know she first recorded her single at 11? Since then, of course, all the Grammys she's won. Well, I spoke to her at that time. I remember distinctly thinking what a mature young thing she was, a real old soul. We had a good time then, but we're going to close the show today with a new video clip from Leanne Rimes with Suddenly. See you tomorrow.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Are you ready for some full throttle action?
Oh, boy. You know, I signed that release waiver, so you can just feel free to stick things in my slot.
For the first time on network TV, the three biggest stars on the planet are here.
Watch Charlie's Angels.
Seriously.
Charlie's Angels premieres 8:30 Sunday.
Tonight on Win, join us for a getaway Holiday in the Sun special, followed by ER, the footy show, then Win Sport takes you to Wimbledon.
This is National 9 Morning News with Kim Watkins.
The Australian wounded in Iraq reunited with his family. The Palestinians take over Bethlehem as the Israeli tanks roll out. And rain puts the Scuds' quarter-final hopes on hold. Good morning. The Australian newsman wounded in a grenade attack while working in Iraq has been reunited with his parents. Jeremy Little is now undergoing surgery in a US military hospital in Germany.
In desperate need of treatment, Jeremy Little arrived in Germany, shaken by his ordeal, but with his Australian sense of humour intact.
The bureau chief said, Jeremy, would you like a beer? And he said, oh, well, not right now, thanks, but I think after the operation I might have a hard shot.
His parents, John and Anna Little, flew from Melbourne to meet their son at the US military hospital where he's been transferred.
He was shivering and shaking. There were a lot more abrasions and bruises and scratches and things on his body.
Working for American TV network NBC, the former Channel 9 sound recordist was the only one injured in the rocket-propelled grenade attack at a military convoy in Fallujah on Monday. Today, there was only time for a quick kiss and cuddle, the 27-year-old going straight into surgery.
They say that there's many operations to come and it'll be over some period of time before he's really back to normal. I think we're looking at quite a long recovery time.
His parents are desperate to get him home, but that could be some time yet.
So I want to get him home. I want to get him home not only for us, his family, but for his friends as well.
Arabella Fingleton, National 9 News.
President George Bush has reinforced his campaign for Americans to remain in Baghdad despite the deaths of 2 more US troops today. Even with growing criticism, Mr. Bush says he's determined to bring peace to the war-torn nation.
I feel like that, the conditions are such that they can attack us there. My answer is bring them on.
Meantime, Poland is sending its first troops to the region today. Australia still has around 1,000 troops in the Middle East. The federal government has denied it's looking for another boatload of asylum seekers en route to Australia from Asia. 56 Vietnamese boat people are on their way to Christmas Island after their fishing vessel was intercepted off the coast of Western Australia. The group was transferred onto HMAS Canberra last night and will arrive on the island for processing this weekend. Key Bali bombing suspect Idris has been paraded in public for the first time after his arrest last week. Indonesian police say he was planning more attacks and has been in contact with other suspects still on the run. It's believed his main role in the October 12 attacks was to provide logistics and accommodation. Idris has also been questioned as a witness in the case of Imam Samudra and Mukhlis. Another step on the roadmap for peace today, with the Palestinians taking control of the historic town of Bethlehem. It took Israel a day to withdraw from the West Bank town.
A changing of the guard. There mightn't be enough uniforms to go round, but Palestinian security forces are back in charge in Bethlehem, empowered by the Israeli handover and withdrawal. The job of these Palestinian officers is to police the ceasefire and deal with anyone who breaches it. Failure will lead to more scenes like this. The Israelis invaded Bethlehem several times during the uprising that began 1,000 days ago and cost 3,000 lives. They raided the town to take on the gunmen and to thwart suicide bombings. The deepest crisis happened after Palestinian militants took refuge inside the Church of the Nativity. The Israeli army laid siege to the holy site for several weeks. There are no tourists. The Nativity Church lies largely empty, as do the coffers of traders who depended on its appeal.
We pray for a peace, a good peace, to live together, Israeli and Palestinian, and to will be like before.
Bethlehem became a frontline town when gunmen here started firing at Jewish homes on the edge of nearby Jerusalem. This ornate home was used by Palestinian snipers and pummeled by Israeli return fire. Today the place is a derelict wreck, and like that of the two peoples, its future is uncertain. The roadmap to peace is set out before them, but can they really find the way?
The hero of a hijack attempt on board a Qantas jet flying from Melbourne to Hobart returns to work today. Flight attendant Greg Khan hasn't flown since he was stabbed in the head during the mid-air drama.
Greg Khan says he'll be feeling excited, if a little nervous, when he steps aboard Qantas flight 1664 from Hobart just after midday.
Probably be a lot of mixed emotion. It'll certainly be nice to be back there at the front door.
The Qantas flight attendant will be taking to the skies for the first time since the ill-fated flight 1737 just over a month ago. The Boeing 717 was just minutes out of Melbourne when a man tried to storm the cockpit. Only the quick actions of Mr. Khan, who wrestled the attacker to the floor, averting a potential disaster.
I still don't think I'm a hero. I mean, I just was there and did what I had to do.
Mr. Khan suffered stab wounds to his head in the attack. While he says the wounds have now healed, the emotional scars remain.
The emotion still comes and goes. Sometimes tears can come from nowhere, and I'm not even sure they're going to happen.
Accompanying Mr. Khan on today's flight will be Denise Hickson, who was also injured during the attempted hijack. While both flight attendants say they wouldn't do anything else, they admit the terrifying ordeal has left them more than a little wary.
That first person who comes up and goes to the loo today, you're going to be giving them a sideways look?
Yes, I wouldn't like to be there because I think I'll be watching them like a hawk as they come up. They'll probably be going, I'm only going to the toilet.
Nick Johnston, National 9 News.
A bizarre ordeal for two women in Melbourne overnight. The fire brigade had to be called after the women became trapped waist deep in a muddy front lawn.
Muddied and mortified, Monica Murphy and Sue Crichton still can't believe they were trapped in a friend's nature strip.
And we just got there and sunk into the mud. And we kept going. The more we tried to get out, the more further down we went. And I was following Monica, and she said, so. And I said, oh. And I joined her, and we were both together.
Works to repair a water main using new sand had turned the lawn into quicksand. As the pair rapidly sank up to their waists, Monica grabbed her mobile phone and rang their astonished friend inside the house. Glenda admits keeping a straight face was the hardest part.
I saw my friends knee-deep in mud. And I thought, who do I ring? Who's going to believe me that they're stuck in quicksand in a residential area?
A 000 call brought equally disbelieving emergency crews.
There was a lot of things going through my mind. And one of them wasn't necessarily how do we get these ladies out. Firstly, we had to stop them laughing. That did take some time.
A ladder was placed across the sticky quagmire and 3 burly firefighters eventually hauled the women out, almost intact.
My brand new shoes, first day I've worn them, are under that mud and it's closed over. And I think they're 3 feet down because that's how far the mud went on my legs.
Sally Pickering, National 9 News.
Coming up in the morning news, a ferry service to run between Sydney and Tasmania. And Australian approval for a new acne treatment.
Face to face with the terrorists.
I don't feel guilty.
Who paid for the Bali bombings.
Would you expect that Australia will be attacked?
Yes, I think it will happen.
And a news flash from Robbie Williams, Sunday on 60 Minutes.
The sound and soul of Ireland. In music and dance, from Ireland's kingdom they came. This is Celtic Rain. A stunning, new and exciting Irish dance production featuring a cast of dance champions, musicians and singers. Don't miss the power and precision of Celtic Rain.
The Lakes Resort in Mount Gambier is the venue with that something special. The fully licensed a la carte restaurant is the perfect venue for a wedding reception or to dine out with friends. Plan your next business function with the fully equipped conference facilities. Their executive suites, indoor heated pool and spa, sauna and gymnasium complex are ideal for the business person on the move. Or just relax and get away from it all with a night away from home. The Lakes Resort Mount Gambier, the venue with that something special.
Golden crumpets, always there for sharing. I'll never forget the way that they spread all covered in honey. Every day of the week they make a great treat so good on your tummy. Golden moments filled with love.
You can carry it, you can drive it, you can surf it, you can ride it. When you win, classify it, watch them walk out of the door. If you bounce them, if you push them, if you tow them, if you hook them. When you win, classify them, watch them walk out of the door. Love your rolling, love your diving, love your riding, love your jiving, love those win classifiers, watch them walk out of the door.
Does the face of an angel
He's not to blame.
hide a tiny terror?
Now, good boy.
Suspended not once, not twice,
Kicking, scratching, punching.
but 30 times.
I hit the teachers.
Another link to the Apple Isle with the announcement this morning of a long-awaited ferry service between Sydney and Tasmania. The super-fast service, using a vessel similar to this, is expected to carry more than 70,000 passengers a year.
Sydney represents a huge, largely untapped market for the state, and now is the time to act to really penetrate into that market, the biggest market in Australia for us.
It will run between Sydney and Devonport, its first voyage due around Christmas. President George W. Bush is set to announce the deployment of 2,000 US troops to another of the world's trouble spots. Street fighting in the West African nation of Liberia has claimed 700 lives in the past month, and America says its President Charles Taylor must go.
As Liberia descends ever deeper into chaos, the pressure is mounted for the world to respond with an international peacekeeping force. Tonight it seems that America is poised to send US troops into West Africa. A dramatic intervention at a time when the White House is preoccupied with Afghanistan and Iraq. For President Bush, it's a real risk. Next week he heads to Africa on his first visit to the continent, and US officials will never forget the humiliation of the last American military mission to Africa. Those memories of Somalia in 1993 have made the White House hesitate. But late this evening, the Pentagon is putting in place an emergency military deployment, while Mr. Bush has issued a new warning to the Liberian president.
In order for there to be peace and stability in Liberia, Charles Taylor needs to leave now.
President Bush is already under pressure over U.S. peacekeeping in Iraq. In recent weeks, American casualties have mounted. It means the decision over Liberia has involved much anguish and internal debate. The civil war there has lasted 14 years and cost several 100,000 lives. Of little strategic importance, Liberia nevertheless has long links to the U.S. It was founded by freed American slaves.
Now to Hollywood, where it's lights, camera, advertising. Marketing executives figured out a long time ago they could sell more products if they could slip them into popular movies. But some of the cars featured recently have become stars in their own right.
When James Bond got his license to kill 40 years ago, he drove a customized, bulletproof, tire-piercing Aston Martin. It all seems rather quaint these days.
Desire is irrelevant.
When Terminator 3 opens nationwide today, Arnold Schwarzenegger drives a Toyota Tundra.
Hasta la vista, baby. Ring any bells?
That was a different T-101.
The Tundra is a pickup truck that starts at $17,000. In other words, it's something today's young people might buy.
The best small car to drive.
But in this multimedia channel surfing society, it turns out that young adults will not sit through a 30-second commercial. Market research showed Toyota's images of cars that are nice, well-built, and a little dull.
They're trying to help reposition the brand so that younger people will actually say, boy, you know, yeah, Toyota's dependable, reliable, bulletproof quality. Maybe they're actually kind of cool as well.
So with greater urgency than ever before, car companies are spending $20 or $30 million to place their products in the right movies. The newest Matrix film had a lot of Cadillacs in it. And Lara Croft of Tomb Raider fame only parachutes into a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Toyota has joined the chase with the Terminator 3 edition of the Tundra, complete with T3 grille, T3 trim, T3 tailpipe. You may not look one bit like a movie star, but for about $4,500 extra, your wheels can.
There's fresh hope for teenage girls and women who struggle with the embarrassment of acne. A new low-dose contraceptive pill to treat the condition has been approved for use in Australia. Acne affects as many as 8 in 10 teenagers and up to 30% of older women.
Acne can have a devastating effect on a woman's self-esteem. It really very much affects, I think, particularly younger women, where their appearance is so integral to the way they see themselves and how others see them.
Loette is available on prescription. Coming up in the morning news, Mark Philippoussis fights back, but rain delays play at Wimbledon. And David Beckham becomes the real deal in Madrid.
Thursday, a premiere special.
A place where winter never comes.
The ultimate in sun.
Your own private paradise.
Getaway to pure summer
bliss.
Getaway holidays in the sun.
7:30 Thursday on Wing.
Lizzie McGuire always dreamed of being someone else. Now on the trip of a lifetime, Italy's hottest pop star is making her dreams come true.
I'd like you to be my new singing partner.
I won't even let my mom hear me sing in the shower.
It's a choice between fame or family.
I thought I would be grounded.
You're grounded for the rest of the summer, sweetheart.
Hillary Duff. The Lizzie McGuire movie.
Golden crumpets, always there for sharing. I'll never forget the way that they spread all covered in honey. Every day of the week they make a great treat, so good on your tongue.